Secret government facilities. Black sites which operate outside of the public eye, outside the jurisdiction of the law, and outside the security clearance of even some of the most powerful politicians. Facilities that are so well hidden and kept so secret that one usually has no idea that they even exist. The US government, however, has over the years, and often not by their own choice, released formerly classified documents that prove that such sites exist and have existed for a very long time. Were it not for the declassification of files from various government acronyms, the idea of a secret government compound might still be considered fringe theory. From the Greenbrier Congressional Doomsday Bunker in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, to the Cheyenne Mountain Complex military base in Colorado, to the Dugway Proving Ground biological and chemical weapons testing facility in Utah, the government has always operated secure facilities whose purposes can be shrouded in mystery for decades, sometimes indefinitely. While many of these secure locations are some sort of fallout shelter, whether for the public or for government officials, the facilities that attract the most attention often have to do with aerospace and weapons testing. Secret government test sites where the military experiments with top-secret, highly advanced weapons and propulsion technologies are prolific in science fiction and popular culture. This is in part because of the mystery surrounding them, and the classified information and technology locked away within them. The curiosity of the public is captured by these secret sites, the most popular of them being a large compound situated in the southern Nevada desert. This site has a history that is intricately entwined with and ingrained in the public perception of extraterrestrial contact with the Earth. The top-secret government weapons and aerospace testing facility known as Area 51. Nellis Air Force Base Complex is a gigantic military compound which occupies much of southern Nevada. Inside this complex is the Nevada Test and Training Range, a patch of desert 80 miles north of Las Vegas whose size rivals several of the eastern United States. Inside of this range, situated next to a large salt flat, is Area 51, officially called Homey Airport or Groom Lake. Its perimeter is marked and patrolled by military contractors, posted with signs which read "Restricted Area, No Trespassing," and going on to warn potential trespassers that deadly force is authorized for those attempting to enter the site. A secretive, heavily guarded base tucked into the middle of an even larger military complex in the Nevada desert is certainly mysterious. But what is Area 51? What sort of things are tested at the enigmatic facility? Why did it become such a hotbed for UFO sightings and theories? The answer depends on what and who one is willing to believe. Believe the government, and Area 51 is an Air Force test facility which works on top-secret development of cutting-edge aerospace and weapons technology. This sounds credible. High-tech weapons and aircraft development certainly could explain the secrecy. However, there are those who believe that something else is hidden inside of Area 51, being guarded by unmarked helicopters and armed men in trucks. Some believe that the Groom Lake facility houses something out of this world, specifically extraterrestrial technology. Some even believe the compound to house preserved alien bodies. The idea of aliens at Area 51 can be traced backward as far as 1947, but the majority of activity at Groom Lake seemingly began in the mid-1950s. Numerous UFO sightings were reported, starting in the summer of 1955, with reports of oddly shaped objects flying in impossible ways. Lending to the credibility of these reports was the fact that many of them came from pilots who reported seeing the strange objects while flying planes. There were those who tried to connect this activity to the Roswell incident of 1947, claiming that the alien craft that crashed in New Mexico had been transported to Area 51. The military did respond to these sightings in the mid-1950s, by dismissing them as swamp gas and high-altitude weather monitoring. However, in documents that have been declassified in the years since, the military gives a true response to the UFO sightings. A new type of aircraft had been commissioned and was being developed and tested at the Nevada Desert Air Base in the summer of 1955. The aircraft was meant to fly much higher than any commercial or military plane from the time period, and was meant to be used for reconnaissance over Russia. At such high altitudes, detection would be difficult and pursuit would be impossible. The aircraft in question was the U-2. The government claims that top-secret and formally classified aircraft are developed and tested in the large area that makes up Area 51 and a nearby, similar test site called S4. Aircraft such as the A-12, the SR-71 Blackbird, and the F-117 stealth fighter were all developed within the enigmatic confines of Groom Lake. This is supported by declassified documents from the base and the testimony of those who worked on the projects. That people were seeing things in the sky around Groom Lake was undeniable. Credible sources like pilots and policemen, even other members of the military, gave truly baffled accounts of seeing craft that performed in ways that didn't make sense to them. These people had no reason to fabricate these experiences, certainly not to coordinate together in an effort to do so. After all, at the time this could mean losing your job or being publicly ridiculed. However, many of the sightings could actually be tied to the research, development, and testing that was happening at Area 51. Pilots and military personnel were seeing unidentified flying objects, highly classified aircraft engineered for secretive purposes that were capable of performing in ways that no one who wasn't actively working on them would understand. The story seems neatly tied up, with few loose ends, though there are those who claim that the official narrative is deliberately excluding many of the details about the research that was being done at Area 51. One of the more public detractors of the government's explanation of the UFO sightings and continued rumors about Groom Lake is Bob Lazar. A self-proclaimed whistleblower, Lazar has told stories of what he claims was truly going on at Area 51. The full extent of Bob Lazar's claims is a very long story for another time, but it has to do with the S4 site located near Groom Lake. Lazar claims that he studied at MIT, and in late 1988, he began working at the S4 facility, roughly 15 miles from Groom Lake. He said that he would be called on the phone and instructed to go to McCarran Airport, where an unmarked aircraft would shuttle him to Groom Lake, and he would then be bussed to S4. His account states that he worked in a modified hangar built into the mountain adjacent to Papoose Lake, which contains several highly perplexing aircraft he would later discover were of extraterrestrial origin. His job, he says, was to reverse engineer the alien technology. Several other researchers were working in the hangar, and each was working on a different craft. No craft was visible to a researcher but the one that was assigned to them. Lazar claims that he was assigned to work on a propulsion system made with extreme high tech that had no moving parts, no circuitry, and no nuts or bolts. He claims that it wasn't spoken, but was openly understood that the technology in the S4 facility was alien, which led him to go public with this knowledge in 1989. Though Lazar's claims seem to lack evidence, he did know things about Area 51 and S4 that he shouldn't have known, such as where they tested the top-secret aircraft and when. These were confirmed more recently by those who were confirmed to have worked there. If Lazar hadn't been so public and adamant about his claims, perhaps the rumors of an alien connection to Groom Lake would have faded with the declassification of the CIA's files on the U-2 program in 1998. In the public eye, the site may have become just another Nevada military site, testing things that had to be kept secret for security reasons. However, as Bob Lazar continues to this day to speak publicly about his alleged history at Groom Lake and S4, the rumors have only grown. Area 51 is likely a permanent fixture in culture, immortalized in films, comics, and video games. In 2019, there was even a raid, very loosely defined, on the facility. That summer, an event was created on social media entitled Storm Area 51, They Can't Stop All of Us. Despite desperate attempts to remind people that deadly force was authorized against trespassers at the site, and that yes, in fact, they could stop all of us, over 2 million people responded that they would be attending. However, rather than 2 million people rushing headlong into certain death, when the time came to raid Area 51, it became more of a friendly social gathering. An estimated 1,500 to 2,000 people attended the raid or festivals associated with it. UFO enthusiasts danced and held signs with cryptic, but ultimately harmless messages. Thankfully, nobody actually stormed onto Area 51. The raid was by all accounts a fun event, but it brought enthusiasts no closer to knowing the truth. Is Area 51 a highly secure airbase where cutting-edge aircraft are designed and tested? Does the testing of these aircraft account for the numerous sightings of UFOs and the perceived connection to aliens? Or is it possible that there is something even more secretive going on in the facility tucked away in the salt flats? Could people like Bob Lazar be telling the truth? Could the government be testing craft that are built using extraterrestrial technology? As would be expected of matters concerning a CIA black site, the answers are unclear. Without the truth available to the public, all one can do is stake their belief. And if history is any indicator, uncovering the hidden truth may take a very long time. Maybe next time, Raiders. They may in fact be able to stop all of us, but at this point, they will never be able to stop us wondering what goes on at the secretive facility known as Area 51. Thank you for watching and listening. If you like this video and you'd like to see more like it, like the video, share the video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've also recently started an Instagram account where I'll be posting some channel-related art and art from an upcoming secret project. So if you're on Instagram, make sure to follow me at Phobos Media. And if you'd like to support the channel in a more direct way, feel free to donate via Patreon or pick up some Phobos Media merch at my Represent.com merch store. All links will be on screen or in the description.